The billionaire married her sister by mistake. Now she's pregnant with his baby. Which one of you is my wife? Marcus Sterling stood in his penthouse, staring at two identical pregnant women. 6 months ago, he'd married one of them. 3 months ago, he'd slept with the other. And until 5 minutes ago, he thought they were the same person. They weren't. Isabella Chen, the woman he'd fallen in love with 3 years ago, stood on the left. 3 months pregnant with his child. The one he was supposed to marry. Sophia Chen, her identical twin sister, stood on the right. Wearing his wedding ring. Living in his home for 6 months. The one he'd actually married. But he couldn't tell them apart. Same face. Same voice. Same DNA. One of them stole the other's identity with help from his own mother. One of them had been playing him for half a year. And both of them were carrying his baby. Marcus, Isabella said. I'm the one you loved. Marcus, Sophia said. I'm the one you married. He looked between them, panic rising. This wasn't a mistake. This was fraud. Identity theft. A conspiracy that had destroyed 3 lives. And now he had to choose. Welcome to our channel, where we bring you emotional stories that stay with you. If you're new here, hit subscribe and the notification bell so you never miss a story. And if you're returning, thank you. Your support means everything. Now, stay until the end, drop a comment with your thoughts, and let's begin. Before we start, comment where you're watching from and rate this story 0 to 10 at the end. Enjoy! To understand how Isabella Chen ended up pregnant with her brother-in-law's baby, except he wasn't really her brother-in-law because he'd never actually married her sister, you have to go back 3 years. Back to when Isabella first met Marcus Sterling at a tech conference in San Francisco. Back to when she was still naive enough to believe that love was simple and truth always won. Isabella was 25, a software engineer at a mid-sized startup, and she'd been sent to the tech conference to network and learn about emerging AI technologies. She was brilliant with code, terrible with people, and she'd been standing alone at the networking mixer for 20 minutes trying to work up the courage to talk to someone. That's when Marcus Sterling walked up to her. She didn't know who he was. Didn't recognize him from the Forbes covers or the TechCrunch articles. She just saw a tall man in his early 30s with dark hair, sharp eyes, and a smile that made her forget every line of code she'd ever written. You look like you'd rather be debugging code than making small talk, he said. She laughed. Is it that obvious? I'm the same way. Marcus Sterling. He held out his hand. She shook it. Isabella Chen. And I definitely should have Googled you before admitting I have no idea who you are, right? He grinned. Actually, that's the best thing anyone said to me all day. Come on, let's get out of here. I know a ramen place that's better than this overpriced hotel bar. They spent 4 hours talking about artificial intelligence, neural networks, and whether machines could ever truly be creative. They talked about their families. He was an only child, she had a twin sister. They talked about what they wanted from life. By the end of the night, Isabella was in love. They exchanged numbers. He texted her the next morning. Dinner tonight? I promise we'll only talk about code if you want to. For 3 months it was perfect. They saw each other whenever he was in San Francisco, which, because his company was based there, was often. They went to hole-in-the-wall restaurants and walked through Golden Gate Park and stayed up until 3 a.m. talking about everything and nothing. He told her about the pressure of running a billion-dollar company at 32. The expectations. The loneliness. She told him about growing up as a twin, always being compared to Sophia. Always being the smart one, while Sophia was the beautiful one, even though they were identical. You're both, he said one night, holding her face in his hands. You're brilliant and beautiful and I'm falling in love with you. I already fell, she whispered back. That was the night everything changed. Month 4, Marcus said. I want you to meet my parents. Isabella panicked. Your parents? That's serious. I'm serious about you. They're in town this weekend. Dinner. Nothing formal. Just, I want them to know you. She agreed. She should have known it would be a disaster. Marcus's parents, Robert and Catherine Sterling, were old money, East Coast elite, the kind of people who summered in the Hamptons and wintered in Aspen and measured worth in family lineage and stock portfolios. Isabella was new money. First-generation American, daughter of Chinese immigrants who owned a small restaurant in San Jose. Her net worth was about $30,000 in student loan debt. The dinner was excruciating. Catherine Sterling looked at Isabella the way someone might look at a stain on expensive carpet. "So, Isabella, Marcus tells us you're in computers?" "Software engineering, yes. I specialize in machine learning algorithms and—" "How lovely. And your family? What do they do?" "They own a restaurant. Chen's Kitchen in San Jose. My parents immigrated from Taiwan 30 years ago and—" "A restaurant. How industrious." Catherine's smile didn't reach her eyes. "Marcus, darling, didn't you mention that the Whitmore girl is back from Paris? Victoria Whitmore? I ran into her mother last week. Such a lovely family." Marcus's jaw tightened. "Mother? I'm simply saying there are certain compatibilities that matter in a partnership. Shared backgrounds. Similar social circles. Someone who understands the demands of your position." Isabella felt herself shrinking. After dinner, in the car, Marcus held her hand. "Don't listen to her. She's a snob. I don't care about any of that. But she's right, isn't she? I don't fit into your world. Then we'll make our own world." She wanted to believe him. 2 weeks later, Isabella introduced Marcus to her family. Her parents loved him immediately. He ate 3 bowls of her mother's dumplings, asked intelligent questions about their immigration story, and insisted on helping wash dishes. But Sophia, her identical twin sister, looked at Marcus Sterling the way a starving person looks at a feast. Isabella had always known that Sophia was jealous of her. Growing up, Isabella had been the one who got straight A's, who got the scholarships, who was going to make something of herself. Sophia had been the one who barely graduated, who floated from job to job, who their parents worried about. But they'd been close anyway. Twins. Best friends. Sisters who told each other everything. Until Marcus. Isabella saw the way Sophia looked at him that night. The way she laughed too loudly at his jokes. The way she touched his arm when she talked to him. She saw it. She should have paid more attention. Month 6, Marcus's mother escalated. She invited Isabella to lunch. Just the two of them. "I'm going to be direct," Catherine said, barely touching her Cobb salad. "You're not right for my son. You don't come from our world. You don't understand the pressures and expectations that come with the Sterling name. I'm prepared to offer you $2 million to end this relationship quietly and permanently." Isabella's hand shook. "You're trying to buy me off?" "I'm offering you financial security and saving you from inevitable heartbreak. Marcus will eventually realize that this infatuation isn't sustainable. His board expects him to marry someone appropriate. Someone who can be a proper partner in his business and social obligations. You'd be doing both of you a favor." "No. Excuse me. I said no. I love your son. And he loves me. We'll figure out the rest." Catherine's expression went cold. "Then you've made a very poor choice, Miss Chen." Isabella told Marcus about the lunch. He was furious. "We're getting engaged," he said. "Right now. Today. I don't care what she thinks. I love you. Will you marry me?" And Isabella, overwhelmed and emotional and wanting so badly to believe that love could conquer old money snobbery, said yes. He bought her a ring the next day. Nothing ostentatious. Isabella had refused anything too expensive, but beautiful. A simple sapphire, her birthstone. They were engaged. For exactly 2 weeks. Isabella's company sent her to a conference in Boston. 3 days. She'd be back Friday. "I'll miss you," Marcus said, kissing her goodbye at the airport. "I'll miss you too. But it's only 3 days. 3 days too long." She smiled. "I'll call you every night." She did call. Every night. And he sounded fine. Normal. Loving. She had no idea that the second day she was gone, Sophia showed up at his apartment. She had no idea that Sophia, wearing Isabella's favorite dress, using Isabella's perfume, styling her hair exactly like Isabella's, had knocked on his door. She had no idea that Sophia had told Marcus, "I've been thinking about what your mother said. Maybe she's right. Maybe we're too different. Maybe we should end this before someone gets hurt." And Marcus, confused because this didn't sound like his Isabella, had said, "What are you talking about? We just got engaged. I thought you were in Boston." And Sophia had smiled and said, "I came back early. I needed to see you. I needed to tell you this in person." What happened next, Isabella would piece together later. Sophia had kissed him, had told him she changed her mind, she was just scared, she loved him, had stayed the night. And Marcus, who couldn't tell the difference because they were identical twins and Sophia had studied Isabella's mannerisms for weeks, had believed he was making love to his fiancée. When Isabella returned from Boston on Friday, everything felt off. Marcus was distant, distracted. He kept looking at her strangely. "Is everything okay?" she asked. "Yeah, You've been acting different." "Different how?" "I don't know. Just different. Since you came back from Boston." A cold feeling settled in Isabella's stomach. "Marcus, I just got back today. My flight landed 2 hours ago." He stared at her. "What?" "My conference was 3 days. Monday through Wednesday. I flew back this afternoon." "But you were here Wednesday night. You came to my apartment. We talked about your mom's offer." "We?" The color drained from Isabella's face. "I was in Boston Wednesday night. I have my boarding pass, my conference badge, my hotel receipt." "Then who?" He stopped. Understanding and horror crossed his face simultaneously. "Your sister." No. Sophia wouldn't. But even as she said it, she knew. Sophia would. Sophia had. Isabella confronted Sophia that night. "How could you? He's my fiancé. We're getting married." Sophia's face was calm. Cold. "He couldn't even tell us apart. What does that say about your great love story? You tricked him. You pretended to be me. And he fell for it. Doesn't that tell you something, Isabella? You're not as special as you think you are. We're identical. Interchangeable. And I'm tired of watching you have everything while I have nothing." "So you slept with my fiancé?" "I slept with a man who thought I was you. That's on him, not me. I'm going to tell him everything. He'll never forgive you. He'll never." "Tell him what?" "That I visited him while you were gone. He already knows. And he's probably questioning everything about your relationship right now. Wondering if he can trust you. Wondering if you've ever pretended to be me. The seed is planted, Isabella. Your perfect romance is already dying." Isabella felt her world cracking apart. She went to Marcus. Told him everything. Showed him the differences between her and Sophia. Tiny things, scars and birthmarks and mannerisms. "I believe you," he said. "But Isabella, I can't do this." "Can't do what?" "I can't be in a relationship where I have to constantly question if I'm talking to the right person. I can't look at you without wondering if you're you or if you're her. The trust is broken." "But I didn't do anything. Sophia is the one who." I know it's not your fault. But I can't." His voice broke. "I'm sorry. I love you. But I can't live like this." He ended their engagement that night. Isabella was devastated. And Sophia? Sophia smiled. Isabella threw herself into work. She left the startup and joined a major tech company. She moved to Seattle. She avoided her family, which meant avoiding Sophia. She didn't date. Couldn't imagine trusting anyone again. Marcus tried to call a few times in those first months. She didn't answer. What was there to say? He'd chosen to end it. He'd let Sophia win. She didn't know that Marcus had spiraled after their breakup. That he'd buried himself in work, expanded his company internationally, and avoided anything that looked like a relationship. She didn't know that his mother, seeing her son miserable, had started her own plan to fix things. She didn't know that Catherine Sterling had reached out to Sophia Chen with an offer. "My son is depressed," Catherine told Sophia over coffee at a five-star hotel. "He's been miserable since your sister left. Now, I don't approve of your family, but I'm a practical woman. I want my son happy." Sophia listened carefully. "He loved your sister. Or he thought he did. Here's what I propose. You become Isabella. Permanently." "I don't understand." "You're identical. With the right preparation, the right coaching, the right incentives, you could be her. Marcus would never know. He'd get the woman he thinks he loves. You'd get the life you want. And I'd get a daughter-in-law I can control, because you'd owe everything to me. What makes you think I'd agree to this?" $5 million. Paid into an offshore account. Plus whatever lifestyle the Sterling name provides. Plus you'd be taking something from your sister that she thought was hers. Isn't that what you've always wanted? Sophia was quiet for a long time. "What would I have to do?" For 6 months, Catherine Sterling turned Sophia into Isabella. She hired specialists. Speech coaches who made Sophia memorize Isabella's speech patterns, her technical vocabulary, the way she explained complex concepts. Movement coaches who taught her Isabella's posture, her walk, her unconscious mannerisms. They studied every video, every photo, every social media post of Isabella. They documented her habits, her preferences, her stories. Sophia learned Isabella's favorite foods, her coffee order, her childhood memories. She studied software engineering basics, enough to fake conversations. She practiced Isabella's signature, her handwriting, her typing style. Catherine had her undergo minor cosmetic procedures to match any tiny differences. A small scar removed. A birthmark added. Haircut matched exactly. By the end, Sophia could have fooled Isabella's own parents. Almost. Catherine orchestrated a chance encounter between Marcus and Isabella at a tech industry event in New York. Marcus saw her across the room. His heart stopped. She was here. After 2 years. He walked over, hands shaking. "Isabella." Sophia turned, giving him a small, sad smile. "Hi, Marcus. I didn't know you'd be here. How are you?" "I'm good. Better. You. I've thought about you every day for 2 years." "Marcus." "I'm sorry. I'm sorry for how I ended things. I was scared and stupid and I threw away the best thing that ever happened to me." "It's in the past, is it? Because I never stopped loving you." Sophia let tears fill her eyes, a practiced skill. "I never stopped either." And just like that, they were back together. Marcus didn't see the differences. Didn't notice that Isabella now laughed at jokes the real Isabella would have rolled her eyes at. Didn't notice that her technical knowledge was surface level. Didn't notice 1,000 tiny things that were wrong. He saw what he wanted to see, the woman he loved, giving him a second chance. They dated for 3 months. He proposed. She said yes. They were married 4 months later in a small ceremony. Isabella said she wanted something intimate, which conveniently meant fewer people who might notice inconsistencies. Catherine Sterling smiled at the wedding. She'd gotten what she wanted, a daughter-in-law she controlled, a son who thought he was happy. Sophia smiled too. She'd gotten everything her sister had. Almost. 6 months into the marriage, Sophia had a problem. Marcus wanted a baby. "I think we're ready," he said one night. "I want to start our family." Sophia panicked. She'd been taking birth control the entire marriage. She wasn't ready for a baby. Wasn't ready for something that permanent, that irreversible. But she couldn't say no without Marcus questioning why Isabella, who had talked about wanting kids someday, was suddenly hesitant. "Let's wait a few more months," she said. "I want to finish this project at work first." He agreed. But she could see he was disappointed. She needed a solution. She needed. An idea formed. Terrible. Perfect. Cruel. She needed her sister. Sophia called Isabella for the first time in 2.5 years. Sophia. Why are you calling me? I need to see you. It's important. Please, Bella. No one had called her Bella in years. Only Sophia used that nickname. Against her better judgment, Isabella agreed to meet. They met at a coffee shop in San Francisco, neutral territory. Isabella barely recognized her sister at first. Sophia looked different, polished, expensive. Her hair was styled exactly like Isabella used to wear hers. Her clothes were designer. You look successful, Isabella said carefully. I am. I got married 6 months ago. Something cold settled in Isabella's chest. Married? To who? Marcus Sterling. The world tilted. What? I married Marcus. We're very happy. He thinks I'm you. Isabella stood up, coffee spilling. You what? Sit down. People are staring. You're insane. You can't just. He'll figure it out. Someone will tell him. This is. No one knows except his mother, who helped arrange it. And now you. His parents think I'm you. Our parents think I'm married to someone else. They've never met Marcus, so they don't know. It's perfect. This is fraud. This is. Isabella's mind raced. Why are you telling me this? Because I need your help. Absolutely not. He wants a baby. I need you to get pregnant. Isabella laughed, a broken sound. You've actually lost your mind. Listen to me. I can't get pregnant right now. I'm not ready. But if I keep saying no, he'll start to wonder why Isabella suddenly doesn't want kids. So I need you to sleep with him, get pregnant, and then I'll take credit for the pregnancy. That's the most insane thing I've ever heard. I'll give you $1 million. Isabella froze. I have access to Marcus's money. I'll transfer it quietly. You'll never have to work again. You can have everything you've ever wanted. All you have to do is spend one night with him. Which, let's be honest, you've been wanting to do for 3 years and get pregnant. This is evil. You're asking me to betray him in the same way you already did. I'm asking you to get what you deserve. You loved him. He loved you. I stole that. This way, at least your DNA continues in his family. Your child. Not mine. No. Fine. Then I'll make sure he never knows the truth. You'll spend the rest of your life knowing the man you loved married an imposter and you did nothing about it. Isabella's hands shook with rage. I should tell him everything right now. Go ahead. He's so in love with me, with who he thinks I am, that he'll never believe you. He'll think you're the jealous twin trying to break us up. I've been his wife for 6 months. You haven't spoken to him in 3 years. Who do you think he'll believe? Isabella left that coffee shop feeling sick. For 2 weeks she obsessed over it. She could tell Marcus the truth. But Sophia was right. Would he believe her? Or would he think she was trying to sabotage his marriage? She could walk away, forget about it. But then Sophia won everything. And Isabella spent her life knowing the man she loved was living a lie. Or, the plan was insane. Impossible. Wrong. But there was a twisted logic to it. If she did this, Marcus's child would actually be hers. Her DNA. Her genetics. Part of her would be in his life forever. And maybe if she got pregnant, she'd have leverage. Proof. DNA tests could prove the baby was hers. She could use that to expose Sophia. Or maybe she just wanted one night with the man she'd never stopped loving. She hated herself for even considering it. But 3 weeks later, she called Sophia back. I'll do it. But not your way. I'm not sneaking into his bed pretending to be you. That's rape by deception. Then how? Set up a situation where I run into him. Where we're both drunk. Where it's unclear. And then what happens, happens. Sophia smiled. She'd won. Sophia arranged it perfectly. She told Marcus she had to go to Seattle for a work emergency. Overnight trip. She'd be back tomorrow. She gave Isabella a keycard to their penthouse. He'll be home tonight. Alone. There's a bottle of his favorite whiskey in the living room. He drinks when he's stressed. All you have to do is be there. Isabella took the keycard. She told herself she wasn't going to use it. She told herself this was insane. She told herself she was better than this. But at 9 p.m. that night, she was standing outside the penthouse, keycard in hand. Isabella used the keycard. The penthouse was beautiful. Massive windows overlooking the city. Expensive furniture. Evidence of Sophia's life everywhere. Photos of Isabella and Marcus, her clothes, her things. It made Isabella sick. She poured herself a drink from the whiskey bottle. Then another. At 10 p.m., she heard the elevator. Marcus was home. He walked in, loosening his tie, and stopped when he saw her. Isabella? I thought you were in Seattle. She turned. Their eyes met. And she saw the exact moment he realized something was different. You're not Isabella, he said slowly. Her heart stopped. What? You're not her. You're Sophia. How did you? I've suspected for weeks. Little things. Differences. I've been going crazy thinking I was paranoid. But you, he looked at her. Really looked. You're really her. You're the real Isabella. Tears filled her eyes. You knew. Not knew. Suspected. Hoped. God, I hoped I was wrong, because what would that mean? That I married the wrong woman? That I've been living with an imposter? He crossed to her. Tell me I'm wrong. Please tell me I'm wrong. You're not wrong. Jesus Christ. He sat down hard. How long? Since before you got back together. Sophia has been pretending to be me for almost a year. Why didn't you tell me? Would you have believed me? He was quiet. No. Probably not. She's your wife, Marcus. Legally. You married her. I'm the ghost she's been pretending to be. Why are you here tonight? Isabella almost lied. Almost said something safe. But she was so tired of lies. She asked me to come. She wants a baby but doesn't want to get pregnant yet. She thought, her voice broke. She thought I could sleep with you and she'd claim the pregnancy as hers. The silence was deafening. That's the most insane thing I've ever heard. I know. Did you agree to it? I considered it. Because I'm apparently as insane as she is. Because I never stopped loving you. Because I wanted one night to pretend things were different. Marcus stood up. Crossed to her. Looked at her with an intensity that made her chest ache. I never stopped loving you either. The real you. Marcus. I know this is insane. I know I'm technically married to your sister. I know this is wrong on every level. But I haven't been able to tell you apart because I didn't want to. Because accepting that she wasn't you meant accepting that I'd lost you forever. What are we doing? Something we'll probably regret. He kissed her. And Isabella, who had spent 3 years trying to forget him, kissed him back. They spent the night together. In the morning, reality crashed back in. What now? Isabella whispered. I have to tell her I know. I have to divorce her. This marriage is a fraud. She'll fight back. Your mother helped her do this. I don't care. Marcus, she's been your wife for 6 months. This will be a nightmare. Then it's a nightmare. But I'm not staying married to an imposter. He got up, started getting dressed. Come with me. When I confront her. I want you there. I don't know if. Please. I need you. She agreed. They waited for Sophia to return. Sophia came home at noon, dragging her suitcase. She stopped when she saw them both sitting in the living room. Her eyes went from Marcus to Isabella and back again. Well, she said finally. I guess you figured it out. How long did you think you could keep this up? Marcus's voice was cold. Forever, ideally. But I suppose 6 months is respectable. 6 months of fraud. 6 months of pretending to be someone you're not. 6 months of lying to me every single day. Did you really not know? Or did you not want to know? Because I think we both know you saw the signs. He flinched. Isabella stood up. Why, Sophia? What did I ever do to you? You were born first. You were the smart one. You were Dad's favorite. You got the scholarships, the job offers, the perfect life. And then you got him. She pointed at Marcus. You got the one thing I wanted. The only thing I wanted. And then you lost him because you're too proud to fight for anything. So you stole my identity? Married him under false pretenses? That's not winning, Sophia. That's psychotic. Call it what you want. I got what I wanted. Not for long, Marcus said. I'm filing for annulment. This marriage is fraudulent. You'll get nothing. Sophia smiled. Actually, I'll get exactly what we agreed to in our prenup. Which, by the way, I signed as Isabella Chen. So technically, according to the state of California, I am your wife Isabella. And if you want a divorce, I'll take half of everything. You forged her signature. Prove it. Our signatures are identical. Our fingerprints are identical. Our DNA is identical. How exactly do you prove I'm not her? Marcus looked at Isabella. She saw the horror in his eyes. Sophia was right. But there is one way to settle this, Sophia said sweetly. We could ask Mom and Dad. They'd be able to tell us apart. They're our parents. They know things about us no one else knows. You think our parents would help you after what you've done? Isabella demanded. I think our parents would be devastated to learn that you slept with your sister's husband. Yes, I know about last night. I had the penthouse monitored. I have video. Isabella's blood went cold. You were recording us? Insurance. Just in case. So here's how this plays out. I'm Marcus's wife. If you try to expose me, I'll expose you. I'll show everyone the video of you seducing your sister's husband. Your parents will be ashamed. Marcus's company will be scandalized. CEO in a twisted love triangle with twins? His stock will crash. And me. I'll play the victim. The betrayed wife. I'll get the divorce settlement and the public sympathy. You're evil, Isabella breathed. I'm practical. Marcus stood up. Get out. Pack your things and get out. I don't care about the money. I don't care about the scandal. I want you gone. Fine. I'll go. But Isabella. Sophia looked at her twin. In 6 months, when the divorce is final and you think you've won, remember that I was his wife first. I know things about him you don't. I've shared his bed, his life, his secrets. And he'll never look at you without seeing me. She left. The next 3 months were hell. Marcus filed for divorce. Sophia contested it, dragging it out. She leaked the story to the press. Twisted version where she was the victim. Isabella was the interloper. Sterling tech stock dropped 15%. The board called emergency meetings. There were calls for Marcus to step down. Isabella's parents found out. They were devastated, confused, angry at both daughters. How could both of you do this? Their mother wept. How could you betray each other like this? Neither twin could explain in a way that made sense. Marcus and Isabella couldn't be together publicly. Not while the divorce was pending, not with Sophia threatening to release the video. They existed in a strange limbo. Talking secretly. Meeting in private. Trying to figure out how to untangle the disaster Sophia had created. And then, 6 weeks after that night, Isabella realized something. She was pregnant. If this story is hitting different, hype it so others can find it too. Drop your location below. Let's continue. Isabella stared at the positive pregnancy test, mind racing. She was pregnant with Marcus Sterling's baby. The man who was still technically married to her sister. The man whose divorce was turning into a public nightmare. The man she loved but couldn't be with. She had to tell him. She met him at his office after hours, when no one would see them together. I'm pregnant. He stared at her. Are you sure? 3 tests. All positive. About 6 weeks. That night. Yes. He sat down processing. Does Sophia know? Not yet. But she'll find out. And when she does, she'll claim the baby is hers. That was her plan all along. But we have DNA proof. Once the baby's born, we can prove. Marcus, she's your legal wife right now. If I give birth while you're still married to her, California law presumes she's the baby's mother. We'd have to fight her in court. It could take months, years. Then we fight. She has money. Your money. She can afford lawyers. So can I. And what about the baby? Our child growing up knowing their mother and aunt are identical twins who hate each other? Knowing their parents can't be together because of a legal nightmare? Knowing they're the center of a scandal? He pulled her close. We'll figure it out. How? I don't know. But I'm not losing you again. And I'm not losing our baby. 3 weeks later, Sophia found out. She'd been having Isabella followed, just to keep tabs on her competition. The private investigator photographed Isabella going into an OB/GYN office. Sophia smiled when she got the report. Perfect. She called Marcus. I heard Isabella is pregnant. Silence on the other end. It's yours, isn't it? From that night. The night she came to the penthouse. That's none of your business. Actually, it is. Because I'm still your wife. Which means any child born to either of you during our marriage is legally presumed to be mine. California Family Code. Section 7540. You're insane if you think I'll let you claim my child. I don't want your child, Marcus. I want a settlement. A real one. $50 million, and I'll sign whatever you want. Give up all claims to the baby. Disappear. You and Isabella can have your happy ending. You're blackmailing me. I'm negotiating. Take the deal or spend the next 2 years in court while Isabella's pregnancy progresses and she has a baby that I have legal claim to. Your choice. He hung up. But they both knew she'd won. Marcus and Isabella met with lawyers. All of them said the same thing. Sophia's claim had legal merit. California law was complicated. The presumption that the legal spouse is the parent was strong. They could fight it. But it would take time, money, and public scrutiny. What if we don't fight? Isabella said quietly. What do you mean? What if we let her think she's winning? Pay her. Get her to sign away all rights. Then after the baby's born, we have DNA proof, and if she ever tries to come back, we have documentation that she relinquished all parental rights. That means giving her $50 million. Can you afford it? He looked at her. For you. For our child. I'd pay anything. They accepted Sophia's deal. She signed documents relinquishing all parental rights to any child born to Marcus Sterling or Isabella Chen. She signed an NDA. She agreed to complete the divorce immediately. In exchange, she got $50 million and disappeared. Where will you go? Isabella asked when they signed the papers. Does it matter? You got what you wanted. Marcus, the baby, the happy ending. You could have had a happy ending too. If you'd just been yourself instead of trying to be me. Sophia laughed bitterly. Being myself was never enough. Not for Mom and Dad. Not for anyone. But being you. That worked. For a while. I'm sorry. Don't be. I'm not. She stood, picking up her bag. But I'll tell you one thing. He fell in love with me too. Maybe he thought I was you, but those 6 months? Those were real. He loved me. Not just the memory of you. Me. She left. Isabella never saw her sister again. Marcus and Sophia's divorce was finalized 4 months into Isabella's pregnancy. The press had moved on to other scandals. Sterling tech stock had recovered. The board had decided Marcus was worth keeping. And finally, Marcus and Isabella could be together publicly. They got married when she was 7 months pregnant. Tiny ceremony. Just Isabella's parents, a few close friends, and a judge. I'm marrying you twice, Marcus said, holding her hands. Once legally and once in my heart. Because in my heart, I married you 3 years ago and never stopped being married to you. I never stopped either. They kissed. Her parents cried. Happy tears this time. Amelia Sterling was born on a Tuesday morning in late autumn, weighing 7 pounds, 3 ounces, with dark hair and eyes that looked like her father's. Marcus cut the cord with shaking hands. Isabella held their daughter and cried. She's perfect, Marcus whispered. She is. I'm sorry, he said. I'm sorry for everything. For not being able to tell you and Sophia apart. For marrying her. For all of this. You were deceived. By my sister and by your mother. Speaking of my mother. She's not allowed near our daughter. Ever. Agreed. I cut her off financially last month. She's moved to Paris. Good riddance. Isabella looked down at Amelia. Promise me something. Anything. Promise me we'll never lie to her. About how we met. About Sophia. About any of this. When she's old enough, we tell her the truth. Even though it's insane? Especially because it's insane. She deserves to know that her parents fought like hell to be together. That love is messy and complicated and worth it. I promise. Amelia Sterling was 5 years old, and she was asking the questions they'd known would come eventually. Mommy, why don't I have an aunt? Isabella and Marcus exchanged looks across the dinner table. You do have an aunt, Isabella said carefully. I have a sister. Her name is Sophia. Where is she? She lives far away. We don't see her very often. Why not? Because. Isabella took a breath. Sometimes families are complicated, sweetheart. Sometimes people we love make choices that hurt us, and we have to create distance to stay healthy. Did Aunt Sophia hurt you? Yes. But she was hurt too. And sometimes hurt people. Amelia thought about this, her 5-year-old brain processing. Is she my aunt or my mom? Marcus nearly choked on his water. Isabella stared at her daughter. What? My friend Emma has 2 mommies. I thought maybe I had 2 mommies too, because you and Aunt Sophia are twins and twins are the same. Who told you about Aunt Sophia? Grandma Chen showed me pictures. She said you and Aunt Sophia look exactly the same. Isabella made a mental note to talk to her mother. Aunt Sophia is your aunt. I'm your mom. And Daddy is your dad. That's our family. But where is Aunt Sophia? Marcus spoke up. Your Aunt Sophia lives in Europe. She made some choices that hurt your mom, so we don't talk to her. But she's part of your family story, and when you're older we'll tell you everything. Everything. Everything, Isabella promised. But right now you're 5, and that's a very complicated story. So for now just know that you are so loved. By me and Daddy and both sets of grandparents. Okay. Okay. Amelia went back to her chicken nuggets, satisfied. After she was in bed, Marcus pulled Isabella close. We're going to have to tell her eventually. I know. When? When she's old enough to understand that people are complicated. That families are messy. That love is worth fighting for even when it's hard. So, 16. Isabella laughed. Maybe 18. What if Sophia comes back before then? Then we deal with it. Together. The package arrived on a Tuesday. No return address. Postmarked from Geneva. Inside, a photo of Sophia, standing in front of the Eiffel Tower. She looked happy. Healthy. Different somehow, shorter hair, different style, like she'd finally stopped trying to be Isabella. And a note. I heard through Mom that Amelia asked about me. I'm not ready to meet her. Maybe I never will be. But I wanted you to know I'm okay. I'm seeing a therapist. Trying to figure out who I am when I'm not pretending to be you. What I did was unforgivable. I know that. I stole your life, your identity, the man you loved. I can't undo any of it. But I can say I'm sorry. And I am. I'm sorry for everything. Maybe someday, decades from now, when we're both old and the pain has faded, we can talk. Not as sisters, because I don't think we can ever be that again. But as 2 people who share DNA and a fucked up past. Take care of my niece. Tell her her aunt is trying to be better. S. Isabella read the note 3 times. Then she put it in a box, along with other important documents. Medical records. Birth certificates. The divorce papers from Marcus and Sophia's marriage. All the evidence of their complicated past. Someday, when Amelia was old enough, Isabella would open this box and tell her the whole story. But not today. Today, she went upstairs where Marcus was reading Amelia a bedtime story. Something about a princess and a dragon and true love conquering all. She stood in the doorway, watching them. Her husband. Her daughter. Her family. Complicated. Messy. Born from lies and betrayal and pain. But real. And hers. And worth everything it took to get here. Amelia Sterling was 15 years old when she finally learned the whole truth. She was doing a school project on genetics, required to interview family members about hereditary traits, medical history, family trees. Mom, do you have any genetic conditions I should know about? The project requires. Isabella and Marcus looked at each other. Actually, Isabella said, there's something we need to tell you. Something we've been waiting until you were old enough to understand. They sat her down. They opened the box. They told her everything. About how Marcus and Isabella met and fell in love. About Sophia's jealousy and betrayal. About the switch. About the 6 months Marcus was married to the wrong twin. About the night Isabella came to the penthouse. About the pregnancy that resulted. About the legal battle and the settlement and Sophia disappearing. They showed her the photos of Sophia. The note. Amelia listened to everything. Asked questions. Processed. When they finished, she was quiet for a long time. So, my Aunt Sophia was technically married to Dad when I was conceived? Yes. And she pretended to be you for 6 months? Yes. That's insane. We know. I was going to say that's kind of badass actually. They stared at her. I mean, not the ethical part. The lying and stealing identities part is super messed up. But the fact that she pulled it off for 6 months? That she studied you so completely that Dad couldn't tell you apart? That's kind of impressive. In a villain origin story kind of way. Marcus couldn't help it. He laughed. Only you would find the villainy impressive. I'm just saying Aunt Sophia committed to the bit. Isabella shook her head, but she was smiling. Do you have questions? About any of it? Just one. Do you hate her? Aunt Sophia. Isabella thought about it. I did. For a long time. But now. I don't think I hate her. I think I'm sad for her. She spent so much time trying to be me that she never figured out who she was. And that's a tragedy. Do you think she'd want to meet me? I don't know. She's never reached out again after that one letter. Can I reach out to her? Marcus and Isabella exchanged glances. Not yet, Marcus said. When you're 18, if you still want to, we'll help you find her. But right now, you're still a kid. And she's a complicated person with a complicated past. We want you to be ready for whatever that relationship might be. Okay. That's fair. Amelia stood up, preparing to go back to her room and her homework. Then she turned back. For what it's worth. I'm glad it all happened. What? I mean, not the lying and betrayal part. But if Aunt Sophia hadn't switched places, you and Dad wouldn't have found your way back to each other. And I wouldn't exist. So in a weird way, I owe my existence to my aunt being a master manipulator. She left. Marcus looked at Isabella. Our daughter just thanked your sister for being a con artist. She's not wrong though. I know. That's the terrifying part. They sat together in the living room, looking at the photos spread across the coffee table. Isabella and Sophia as children, identical and inseparable. The wedding photos of Marcus and Sophia. Sophia wearing Isabella's face. The photo from Geneva. Sophia finally looking like herself. Do you ever wonder what would have happened if I'd been able to tell you apart that first time? Marcus asked. Every day. We'd probably have 2 kids by now. Sophia might have found her own path. Your mother wouldn't have orchestrated a fraud. Our lives would be simpler. Would they be better? Isabella thought about it. I don't know. Maybe. But we wouldn't have the story we have. And our daughter wouldn't be who she is. True. Do you regret any of it? I regret not seeing the differences sooner. I regret that Sophia felt she needed to become you to have value. I regret that our daughter's origin story is this complicated. He took Isabella's hand. But I don't regret loving you. I don't regret fighting for you. I don't regret any choice that led to this moment right here with you. Even marrying my sister. Especially that. Because it taught me that it wasn't your face I loved. It wasn't your identical DNA or your physical features. It was you. The real you. Your mind, your soul, your essence. Sophia could copy everything about you except that. And that's what I actually fell in love with. Isabella kissed him. You're very good at speeches. I've had 15 years to prepare them. On Amelia Sterling's 18th birthday, she received a package. From Geneva. Inside, a letter, a DNA test kit, and a plane ticket. The letter read, Dear Amelia, your mother probably told you about me by now. If not, this is going to be a very confusing letter. I'm your Aunt Sophia. I'm your mother's identical twin. 18 years ago, I did something unforgivable. I pretended to be your mother and married your father. The night you were conceived, your parents were technically committing adultery, though your father didn't know it at the time. I've spent 18 years in Europe trying to figure out who I am when I'm not trying to be Isabella. I've been in therapy. I've built a life. I'm engaged to someone who loves me for me, not because he thinks I'm someone else. I don't know if you'll want to meet me. I don't know if you can forgive me for the choices I made that led to your existence being as complicated as it is. But if you do want to meet me, I'm here. The plane ticket is open-ended. You can come whenever you're ready. I won't be your aunt in the traditional sense. I can't replace family or time lost. But I can tell you my side of the story. I can show you who I became after I stopped trying to be her. And I can tell you that despite everything, all the lies and pain and chaos, I'm grateful you exist. You're the one good thing that came from the worst thing I ever did. The DNA kit is enclosed because I thought you might want proof. Proof that I'm really your aunt. Proof that your mother is your mother. Proof of our family's complicated truth. Whether you reach out or not, I wish you the happiest of birthdays. Love, Aunt Sophia. Amelia looked at her parents. What should I do? Marcus smiled. What do you want to do? I want to meet her. I want to understand the whole story. Not just your side. Hers too. Isabella's eyes filled with tears. Then you should go. You're not mad. Baby, I stopped being mad at Sophia years ago. I'm sad for what we lost. I'm sad that we can't be sisters anymore. But I'm not mad. And if you want a relationship with her, I support that. 3 weeks later, Amelia flew to Geneva. She met her Aunt Sophia at a cafe. When Sophia walked in, Amelia gasped. She'd seen photos, but seeing her in person, seeing the woman who looked exactly like her mother but somehow completely different, was surreal. Amelia. Sophia sat down, and Amelia could see she was nervous. Thank you for coming. Thank you for inviting me. They talked for 6 hours. Sophia told her side of the story. The jealousy. The desperation. The choices she made. The consequences. She didn't excuse any of it. She didn't ask for forgiveness. She just told the truth. At the end, Amelia asked, Do you regret it? Every day. But I also. I learned who I was through becoming who I wasn't. Does that make sense? Actually, yes. Your mother is an amazing woman. And I spent my whole life being compared to her. And I'll spend the rest of my life living with what I did to her. But I also finally figured out who Sophia Chen is when she's not trying to be Isabella Chen. And that's worth something. I'm glad I came. Will you come back? Maybe. If that's okay. It's more than okay. They hugged goodbye. And as Amelia flew home, she thought about her family. Her mother and her aunt. Her father and his ex-wife who was also his sister-in-law. The complicated web of lies and love and DNA that created her. It was messy. It was imperfect. It was hers. And she wouldn't change a thing. What would you rate this story? Drop 0 to 10 in the comments right now. If this story moved you, hit subscribe for more emotional journeys every week. And if it truly touched your heart, consider leaving a super thanks. Your support helps us create more stories like this. Every contribution, big or small, means the world. Ready for the next story? It's even more complex than this one. Click now. Thank you for being part of this journey.